On March 11th, Peru's Congress voted in favor of a bill that would allow farmers to process coca leaves to make certain products. It is said that this is a historic moment for the coca movement. And the next day, hundreds of coca farmers marched to the U.S. Embassy in Lima to demand stop to the penalization of coca. Coca farmers extol the virtue of a product made with coca in an attempt to erase the stigma attached to the Andean leaf used to make cocaine.
March 11th marks a historic moment for the cocoa movement in Peru when Congress passed a bill, 8 votes against 3, that allows farmers to process cocoa leaves to make certain products.
Yesterday was an historic day for the coca movement because for the first time the Congress approved with 8 votes that this project should be discussed before the plenary of the Congress. It will be discussed in a plenary session.
The project still has to be discussed by the Congress plenary. For now, only the National Cocoa Company is allowed to process the cocoa leaf. On the same day, Bolivian President Evo Morales attended a meeting held by the United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs in Vienna with the aim of correcting the provisions in a 1961 convention to phase out traditional consumption of cocoa over a 25-year period. The consumption of this leaf of cocoa dates from 3,000 years before Christ and 2,000 years after Christ. And because it is possible, we can draw the conclusion that in 25 years of the consumption of the cocoa leaf, we know well that this leaf of cocoa is not harmful to human health. This is what chewing cocoa is. Traditionally, the cocoa leaf was chewed by nobles in Peru's Inca Empire and considered sacred. In contemporary Peru's society, a wide variety of products are made from cocoa. Cocoa cookies, cocoa flour, cocoa wine, or beer made with cocoa are all demonstrated in the fair in Lima. Cocoa vendors, growers, and buyers gather to promote the cocoa leaf and try to have it removed from the United Nations list of prohibited drugs. It would be enough for the United Nations to recognize that the cocoa leaf is a food and isn't a drug. The moment they treat it as a food, they will have to remove it from the list of banned substances. That is the point of all our efforts. On the following day, hundreds of cocoa farmers marched to the U.S. Embassy in Peru to demand the recognition of the traditional uses of the cocoa leaf.
It has been 30 years of a failed anti-narcotics policy in Peru. Do we want another 30 years to go by? Do we want to continue having a monopoly that steals from the coca farmers? What we need right now is for Peru to understand that we do not want drug trafficking. We want to silently and strategically take away the coca leaf from the drug traffickers to give food to the Peruvians.
Peru is the world's second biggest cocoa producer, behind Colombia. According to the United Nations, more than 80% of Peru's cocoa crop was processed into cocaine in 2007. So far, there are around 54,000 hectares of cocoa crops, only 10,000 of which are considered legal and where production is intended for the manufacture of pharmaceutical products and energy drinks. TITV Weekly.